scuffed. It needs to be scuffed up so that it's just all going to get painted anyhow, you know. It doesn't really even have to be perfect. It just needs to be grease and wax free and roughly cleaned up. Make sure no flaking paint or anything like that. Like, you don't even really have to go this far. I just did because, well, like I said, I live in the Rust Belt, and sometimes just cleaning it real good and using the grease and wax remover isn't enough. And I really want paint to stick, so, because I won't be powder coating this. I'll probably just be painting it. But that's alright, I'll be happy with it, as long as it's uniform. I'm a little concerned about painting the engine. I've never painted an engine before, and I think it'll be pretty straightforward once it's cleaned up, but I'm worried about these fins and how to properly paint in between those fins and stuff. Okay, let's clean this thing up. It looks pretty nasty, and we don't want that. This is disappointing. This is where my exhaust hanger was, and as you can see, I had a bolt on the grade 8 bolt, which is much stronger than this aluminum swing arm that holds on my Vance and Hines exhaust, which is sitting right here. And one of the bolts for this hanger that I've made rubs through the swing arm. This guy right here, I hope that's showing up. That has created this keyway in my swing arm. I was hoping to have that brazed in, but seeing as how this post right here is fairly damaged, I might go home and not clean this one up and grab my other swing arm that I have at home. I have another one of these off that wreck bike. See if it's square and true enough to use. So I might not mess with this anymore tonight. Just set it off to the side. I was debating on painting this a white frame with black accessories just to sell it. Starting a bobber build, taking the proceeds from this and buying a couple more wreck bikes and building a bobber. Like I've said, I'm kind of really attached to this bike, on the fence of what I want to do with it. Oh, here's one of the other twist lock discs, these abrasive ones. These ones are nice, especially on the aluminum, because they won't gouge the aluminum and scratch it like those sanding discs will. You don't want to take material off. So if you guys have never been in a home body shop, well, I guess we'll have a beer. Might as well. This is what it's like. John was a professional body man for years and retired and built this shop quite a long time ago. And as you can see, this is what happens when you have the space to store projects. None of this is his. These are people that have come in and wanted work done and then decided they didn't want to pay for the labor or whatever. I think this one right here got into the window jamb that runs around and it was rotted out. And that's some things that people don't take into consideration. You can see how crusty it looks right there. How much time it takes to rebuild that. Cut that out and weld in the new pieces and custom make it. Like, you don't see an English wheel around here, or a shrinker stretcher machine, or a bead roller. Like, John builds all this stuff by hand, old-fashioned way, hammer and dolly, and that takes a lot of time. This lithium-ion battery, this is a fantastic upgrade. If you have a motorcycle and you're trying to shave weight, the first thing you should do is take out your lead-acid battery and put in one of these lithium-ion batteries. This thing weighs ounces. You know, you can flip this thing around and, you know, it's really light. No problem. You can mount it in any position. You can mount it upside down. You can mount it sideways. You can pretty much do whatever you want with this. It's not a waterproof battery. I think they do sell them as waterproof batteries. This one is not. Fantastic. Compared to this old lead-acid battery, this thing weighs a ton. This thing probably weighs 8 or 9 pounds, and this thing just weighs ounces. So, and you can take all that weight directly out of the center of your bike. I could either lose 10 pounds myself, or I can put a battery in it. I think I'll take the battery. Then I can still shave another 9-10 pounds off of the gut, which I don't know if you can see that, but there's definitely one there. Small things. I tried to take as much off of this bike as I could, and it's been fantastic. The more weight you can take off of it, the faster the bike feels, the more nimble it feels. You can literally take a smaller CC bike like this and breathe life into it. You can change the sprockets out and make the thing feel a hell of a lot more torquier. So people that rat on these smaller bikes and stuff, if your thing is you want to go 180 plus on the highway, that's cool. Go ahead and go do it. I'm not going to lie, it is fun to go fast. I've owned Toyota Supras. I got a 72 F100 with a pre-emissions 460 big block out of a Lincoln. You know, conservatively stock, that thing's pushing out 390 horsepower. I mean, it'll go balls to the wall. I got a match with a Holley 850 double pumper, mild cam, Mallory ignition. You know, you can go fast, or you can be quick. You know, I'm much prefer being quick and nimble than just being able to go fast in a straight line. You know, and I know a lot of those bigger bikes and stuff are also fun to corner in and stuff. You know, I just like this one. I'm not going to rat on anybody else's stuff. I just like my own because it's mine. So, and everybody, let me know what you think, and we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited to keep moving forward with this. I don't think I'm going to do anything else tonight because, like I said, that swing arm looks a little ratty down here, and where the adjustment goes in this end. I don't know if you can see that or if I'm even pointing this in the right area, but that thing is mangled there. I did jump this bike pretty good right after I rebuilt it the second time with the new engine, new wiring, after I upgraded everything. When I was going across Lower Beaver Road, which is only a couple miles from here, they resurfaced the road with blacktop, and there's a huge hump where the road is, and I was coming down Madison across it, and you never get, it's right kind of in front of a school on the back side of it, and you never get a green light going across it. And it slipped my mind that they had just resurfaced it, and I decided, well, it's green, I better hammer down. And I went through that thing, man. I didn't get a lot of height on it, but I got a lot of vertical air, and I definitely bottomed out the suspension, folded my license plate hanger clear up underneath of it. I had the center stand on it still because I was tuning everything, getting my chain slack set and everything, just making sure everything was adjusted properly, and setting my rear tire. It seemed to kept wanting to move on me after I'd set it, so I ended up having to do it a couple times, which I thought was a little strange. Actually, that was with the chain. I was trying to use the swing arm and the chain off the wreck bike, and I think the chain was kinked, and that's what was causing it. So I still want to go check out that other swing arm, because I'm pretty sure it's in better condition than that one. It's got to be in better shape, and it's seeing that it's aluminum. I got pots around here. If it's out of whack, I can chain it down and use the porta puller and get it back square. I got a level on everything, so I'll check it real good and make sure everything's nice and square before it goes on. My headlight, I love this headlight, but everybody gives me shit about it, which I don't really care because it's mine. And like I said, I love this headlight, but I probably have to set my beer down to get it. Here it is, dirty as shit, lots of bugs in there. You can see how much I've been riding it this winter, how grimy this thing's been. But where it goes in, right here, it slips into these. Set my beer down again. Slips into these right here behind these nuts and hangs there just like that. And my gauges cover up this big void here, so It's not as bad as it looks, but people, I, before it got called the Yamakatazuki, everybody was calling it the Mad Max bike just for this headlight, just because it stuck out there. I've had some guys say it looked like a front fender and stuff, but those are mostly Harley guys, or it's not even just Harley guys. I've noticed that since I ride this style of custom bike that I don't really fit in with the street bike guys, and I don't fit in with Harley guys, and there's hardly anybody out there that rides customs, and this is just a different style, and I don't fit in with any of those groups anyhow, so I don't give a shit what they think. I like to rag on guys for what they got, because everybody's perspective is, you know, centered around their world. Literally rambling on, we can sit here and stare at this thing all day, but I just kind of wanted to get a introduction to what I have going on, kind of see what you need to do to customize your bike. And like, really, this whole this rear tail section was not very hard to do. I hacked up the original GS 500 subframe and just kind of modified it till I got it where I wanted. I can set the tank on. It really looks cool. Polished up with the tank on. There we go. So we'll just set this tank in. Right here. Tabs slide in there. As such. These are one of my Vortec clamp-ons with carbon fiber handles, which I'd really like to get the short shifter and short brake lever, or the short clutch and shorty brake lever with the seat and tank on, minus the rear swing arm, but you get a sense for how open the bike is with this rear rather than the stock GS, which looks terribly fat in my opinion. I like a shaved down element to the bike. For these open areas right here, I've got a aluminum brake at home, and I'll probably bend up some sheet aluminum to go inside of this and up the back so it's nice and lightweight. And I'll run a plate up the back that covers all of this and skates inside of here, which I can't go too far because I got my seat release and stuff back there, but this gets terribly dirty underneath here. I'm going to build a rear hugger for that tire to try and keep some of the crap out of here, because my battery and my ECU and shit sit back inside my igniter and shit sits back inside of here. And I got a front fender for it. One day my fucking bolts loosened up and I ended up running the damn thing over, so I'll probably end up custom making like a short one. I don't think I want anything coming forward, but I'm just going to keep a kind of a rear set hugger coming on the back side of this, just to keep spray from coming back into my oil cooler and stuff. But kind of the shit you run into when you go for a certain look. The aesthetic look sometimes gets your bike real dirty. As long as it runs like a raped ape, there's no need to worry about the aesthetics of it. A couple things left to do on the tank. I still have this when I was doing the intake boots on the engine. I don't know how well this dent shows up, but it's definitely there, right there. I was changing the intake boots on the engine, and I had the tank propped up here and turned to the side, sitting on a couple blocks of wood. And I don't know what the hell happened, but I come back from in the garage looking for another screw that comes in over here and screws these intake boots in. There's a small screw here and one there, and it was this side, which I think it's this one. It's got a bolt in it. You know, it's different from all the screws, but that one was a pain in the ass. I went in the garage to find a fastener for it and come back out, and my tank was laying on the damn ground. And I got this dent here, and somehow this dent up here, which is not from the triple hitting it, as you can see, is, I think it hit the frame or something when it tipped over or hit the ground there and then slammed up against the frame there, because it ripped the gas lines out, so I know it jostled it as it fell. You win some, you lose some. You can't get everything you want. Alright, well, probably call this video quits for the moment. Alright guys, happy YouTubing.